Conor McGregor hasn't thrown a punch inside the UFC Octagon in more than 4 years. He hasn't won a UFC fight since 2020. His last scheduled comeback completely collapsed before UFC 303. And yet, before UFC 329 has even begun, Conor McGregor has already made history. Not because of a knockout, not because of a championship, but because of money. According to UFC President Dana White, UFC 329 has officially generated an incredible $25 million in ticket sales, making it the highest-grossing live event in UFC history. Think about that for a moment. Fans still don't know what version of McGregor will show up. No one knows whether he still has the speed that made him a superstar. No one knows if his body can survive another 5-round fight. But tens of thousands of people still paid record-breaking prices just to find out. That's the incredible power of Conor McGregor. While many fighters become legends because they win championships, McGregor became something even bigger. He became an event. For years, the UFC has created new champions, introduced rising stars, and expanded around the world. But whenever McGregor returns, the spotlight shifts back to him. And UFC 329 proves that nobody in the sport sells tickets quite like the Notorious. The biggest question now isn't whether people still want to watch McGregor. They clearly do. The real question is, can he still deliver once the Octagon door closes? Dana White revealed that the previous UFC gate record belonged to UFC 306 at the Sphere in Las Vegas. That event generated an incredible $22 million. Now UFC 329 has smashed that number by reaching $25 million, setting a brand new company record. What's even more impressive is how this event reached that number. It wasn't built around an active champion defending his title. It wasn't driven by an undefeated superstar. Instead, it was built around a fighter who hasn't competed in the UFC since 2021. McGregor's last appearance ended in heartbreak when he suffered a devastating broken leg against Dustin Poirier. Then came another setback. His highly anticipated fight with Michael Chandler at UFC 303 was canceled after McGregor suffered a toe injury during training camp. Many fans wondered whether they would ever see him compete again. But despite all those setbacks, despite years away from competition, the demand for McGregor has never disappeared. Of course, Max Holloway deserves plenty of credit as well. This isn't simply a comeback fight. It's a rematch more than a decade in the making. Back in 2013, McGregor defeated a young Holloway by unanimous decision. Since then, both men have built legendary careers. Holloway became one of the greatest featherweights in UFC history, known for his incredible pace, durability, and relentless striking. McGregor became the UFC's first simultaneous two-division champion and one of the biggest stars combat sports has ever seen. Now their careers collide once again. Only this time, everything is different. For McGregor, UFC 329 is about much more than breaking financial records. This fight could determine the final chapter of his UFC career. Dana White also revealed that McGregor has only one more fight remaining on his current UFC contract after UFC 329. That makes this comeback even more important. If McGregor wins, or even delivers an exciting performance, the UFC suddenly has endless blockbuster opportunities waiting for him. Championship fights, super fights, massive pay-per-view events. But if he loses convincingly, the conversation changes immediately. Instead of asking who McGregor should fight next, fans will begin asking whether his time at the top has finally come to an end. That's why UFC 329 carries enormous pressure for both fighters. Holloway has the opportunity to avenge a loss that happened more than 10 years ago and defeat the biggest superstar of his generation. McGregor has the chance to remind the entire world why he became the face of the UFC in the first place. One thing is already certain. Before a single punch has been thrown, UFC 329 has already made history. $25 million at the gate, the biggest live event in UFC history. Now only one question remains. Can Conor McGregor prove that he's still the biggest attraction inside the Octagon and not just outside of it? Who do you think wins the main event at UFC 329? Conor McGregor or Max Holloway? Let us know your prediction in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more UFC news every day.